which doesn't belong and why. Chiefs notable free agents, 3 of them. Left tackle Donovan Smith, defensive tackle Chris Jones, cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, which doesn't belong and why.
Well, I think the obvious one to me is just Donovan Smith, right? I mean, again, good player, but not to the status of the other two who are game changers, guys that can change the way they schematically play on defense, the way another team plays on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, come on, how many big moments, not only over the last 5 or 6 years, but just in the game the other day, did we see Chris Jones bust through the defensive line or offensive line, on a big must-have-it play for the Chiefs defense? I mean, it was a big reason the 49ers were, 25% on third down, right? 3 for 12, if I remember correctly. So that L'Jarius Sneed is one of the best corners in football. Hopefully everybody realizes that now too. Man-to-man on an island for a good part of the game against Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Donovan Smith seems a little more expendable. That's why I guess I picked him, Mike.
I mentioned yesterday there was a time when other teams would clamor to overpay key players from a Super Bowl winning team in order to weaken that team and also to make themselves better. But let's break up the champion. Let's kill the dynasty. And Chris, I'm going to make a way too early, but not really all that early in the grand scheme of things, because we're about a month away from free agency right now. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to try to sign Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones doesn't belong because somebody is going to overpay him, and I think Jim Harbaugh is going to show up in a big way and shell out the money. Hey, Dean Spanos, you want to prove to the world you aren't cheap? Well, you already have by paying me $16 million a year. But let's go take away Chris Jones. Let's put him in the middle of that line with Joey Bosa. Are you kidding me? On the outside and Khalil Mack on the other side. Are you kidding me? That's the only way we got a chance against Mahomes. Let's unleash Chris Jones on Mahomes. I think the Chargers are going to go after him.
Well, I don't doubt he'll be a hot commodity. He's still one of the 2 or 3 best defensive tackles in all of football. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, to your point, an AFC team or whoever is competing with the Chiefs, they'd love to steal him and get him the hell out of there. But what's that going to take? How much money is he going to want? I do feel like if the Chiefs can even get in the ballpark of another team, he'll stay with the Chiefs. Even this past year, he could have held the Chiefs' feet over the fire a little bit more to collect more money here and make it a little more tough on them in this situation. But I think he realizes the specialness of what he's involved in right now in this dynasty run. So I do think the Chiefs could maybe benefit from a little bit of a hometown discount. But it can't be so egregious that it's just absolutely stupid to take $5-8 million less a year.
Yeah, well, somebody is going to grossly overpay him, and I think get him away from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's my prediction.
Probably.
49ers defensive line free agents. Which doesn't belong and why? Chase Young, Javon Kinlaw, Cleveland Farrell. Which doesn't belong and why?
Well, I guess, at a base level, I just look at Cleveland Farrell to go, okay, he's not a big name, so I'll throw him out there. Right? I think that's the first one. But he's a good, solid, rotational football player that you want on your team. The other guys, when it gets into Kinlaw, top 13 draft pick from a few years ago, right? He does add depth to their D-line. Be interesting to see what he does. And then Chase Young, yeah, they traded for him, right? But he wasn't exactly overwhelmingly dominant throughout the year. He played pretty good the other night in the Super Bowl, but I think that was about as much as we saw him in any game. I guess I go with Cleveland Farrell just because of the lack of the star power attached to the name there.
And I'll go with Chase Young just because I think he may have done enough in Super Bowl 58 to get somebody to maybe peel off some cash that wouldn't have been there. He was kind of AWOL in the NFC Championship, and there's been questions about effort and pursuit and whatever. He had a pretty good game for the 49ers, and that could help him when it's time to go get paid, and he has yet to get paid in his NFL career. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.